that leads me into the next topic I want to talk about is frustration, emotions, and, so it's a grind, and obviously things don't come easily. Things that are worth having rarely do. And so to get better at this, you're going to have some perseverance. You're going to have some drive, some commitment, some stick-to-itiveness, as they say. And, but even the most driven person can become frustrated, with the skills that they're doing. They're not seeing the progress that they'd like. And at that point, you've got to trust the process, I think, especially if you're some sort of competition athlete and you've got to have this skill. It's like, basically I say to my girls all the time, because they get frustrated. I work with mostly young ladies in this sport, and I would say probably about 5 to 6 year olds on a developmental level to teenagers, and that is the most emotional group of people that exists on this earth. And so I tell them all the time, I'm like, look, a couple things. The first thing, you can only show up and put in the work. Gymnastics works at the speed of gymnastics. You don't have any control over when you do this skill. You only have control over two things: whether you show up and whether you work hard. And while you do those things, you've got to have the right attitude. You've got to have, and there are going to be certain gymnasts who are going to groan when I say this, but you've got to have a growth mindset. That's a very, buzzwordy term. But yeah, you've got to be like, okay, listen, this is what I'm trying to do. If you come in and you're like, I'm going to master this skill today, the first skill, this is the first time that I've ever done this, you're going to be disappointed a lot of times, and especially if you get to high enough levels, it takes time. It takes a long time to do these skills. And so emotions definitely have a role to play in it. And you, as the coach, I found it works best if you are not emotional. If you are not emotional and you kind of level them out a little bit and you're able to talk to them from a place of logic, I think that helps a lot. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, okay, here's the deal. This isn't coming along the way you want it to. And if that's the case, you have no power over that. You only have power to how you react to it. And so you can either come in, if you are working on a skill and it's not working that day or in general, you can come in and you can either look at it, there is a reason why it's not working. Let's attack this reason. Let's figure out what I'm not doing properly to get this thing back on track. And so you can either look at it that way, or you can just get emotional. And if you just get emotional, you'll only be emotional. And so you've really got to try to keep them in the headspace of it's, work on the skill, and have a good attitude about it as much as you can.